You know what I did last Thursday? I sat right here in this chair, in this exact spot, with my coffee and the birds going crazy outside like they do when the feeder's just been filled, and I did absolutely nothing for 2 hours, and it was one of the best mornings I've had in months. Now, I'm telling you that because I want you to notice your reaction to it. Some of you just heard that and thought, good for her. And some of you heard that and felt a little knot in your stomach, a little voice that said, 2 hours? Doing nothing? I could never. And that knot, that little voice, that's one of the things I want to talk to you about today. Because you are carrying things right now, not in your hands, not in your pockets, in your chest, in the back of your skull, in that tight spot between your shoulder blades that you've been ignoring for so long you forgot it was there. And those things are making your life smaller, quieter in the wrong way, heavier than it needs to be. I've had a long time to figure out what's worth holding and what's worth putting down. And I want to save you some of that time, if you'll let me. The first thing I want you to throw away, and I mean really discard it, not just set it on a shelf where you can pick it back up, is the idea that your worth is tied to your productivity. Oh, I can hear some of you already. Peggy, that's easy for you to say. You're retired. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have kids in school. And you're right. I don't. Not anymore. But I had all of those things. I had a job I went to every single day for over 30 years. I raised 2 children. I kept a household running alongside a man who, God love him, thought dishwashers were decorative. And the whole time, I believed that my value as a person was directly connected to how much I got done in a day. If I sat down before the dishes were finished, I felt guilty. If I took a sick day, I felt like I was stealing. When Karen was born, I went back to the library 11 days later. 11 days. Because I thought if I wasn't there, shelving books and filing cards and helping patrons, then what was I? What was I contributing? I want you to hear how insane that sounds. 11 days after bringing a human life into the world, I was back on my feet in the stacks because I couldn't sit still without feeling like I was disappearing. Here's what I want you to do. I mean, right now, today. I want you to sit down for 20 minutes and do nothing productive. Not relaxing with your phone. Not resting while you make a mental to-do list. I mean, genuinely sit. Watch the light change on the wall. Listen to the sounds of your house. Let your brain just idle. And when the guilt comes, because it will, I want you to look at it. Just look at it. Don't fight it. Don't argue with it. Just notice it and say, oh, there you are. Because that guilt is not a compass. It's a habit. And habits can be broken. Harold, my husband, he was better at this than I was, and it drove me absolutely up the wall for the first 15 years of our marriage. Saturday mornings, he'd sit on the porch with his coffee and just be there. No book, no newspaper, just sitting. And I'd be inside, scrubbing the kitchen counter for the third time, furious that he wasn't helping, when really I was furious that he could be still and I couldn't. It took me until I was well into my 50s to understand that Harold wasn't lazy. Harold was free. He'd figured out something I hadn't, that rest isn't a reward you earn. It's a basic human need, like water. You don't have to justify drinking a glass of water. You don't have to justify sitting down. So throw it away. This idea that you need to earn your right to exist by being constantly useful. You are not a machine. Your purpose is not output. The second thing, and this one's going to sting a little for some of you, is the need to be understood. I spent an embarrassing number of years trying to explain myself to people. Why I was quiet. Why I didn't want to go to the church potluck. Why I preferred reading to socializing. Why I didn't gush or squeal or light up a room when I walked in. My father, and I loved that man dearly, he spent his whole life worried that something was wrong with me. Peggy, you need to get out more. Peggy, why don't you have more friends? Peggy, people are going to think you're strange. He said these things because he loved me and because he genuinely believed that a quiet life was a lesser life. And for a long time, I believed it too. Or at least I believed that I owed the world an explanation for who I was. There was a woman at the library, Janet Calloway, who I worked with for 19 years. 19 years. And every single Christmas party, every single staff lunch, she would corner me and say, "Peggy, you really should make more of an effort. People think you don't like them." And every single time I would try to explain, "Janet, I do like people. I just don't need to be in the middle of everything. I'm perfectly happy over here." And every single time she'd pat my arm and say, "Well, I just worry about you." Janet Calloway worried about me for 19 years because she could not fathom that someone could be content without being the center of attention. And I let her worry bother me for 19 years because I thought I owed her an understanding she was never going to reach. Here's what I've learned. You cannot make someone understand you if they don't have the framework for it. You just can't. It's like trying to describe the color blue to someone who's never seen it. You can use all the words you want. You can be patient, you can be articulate, and they'll nod and smile and then go right back to worrying about you. So stop. I'm serious. Stop trying to make everyone understand your choices. Your life is not a dissertation you need to defend. You don't owe anyone a justification for how you spend your time, who you love, what you believe, or how much noise you make in the world. Now, here's the important part, and I don't want you to miss this. Throwing away the need to be understood does not mean throwing away the desire for connection. Those are two completely different things. Connection says, I see you and you see me, and that's enough. The need to be understood says, I need you to approve of what you see. One is freedom. The other is a cage you build yourself and then hand someone else the key. I have people in my life who don't fully understand me. My daughter, Karen, She worries about me the same way my father did. Calls every Sunday. "Mom, are you getting out? Are you talking to people?" And I love her for it. But I stopped trying to make her see my life through my eyes. Instead, I just live it. And she sees that I'm happy, truly, genuinely happy. And slowly, over the years, her worry has softened. Not disappeared, softened. And that's enough. So, if there's someone in your life right now who you keep trying to explain yourself to, a parent, a spouse, a friend, a coworker, I want you to ask yourself, am I seeking connection or am I seeking a verdict? Because if it's a verdict, you're never going to get the one you want. The jury's been out for years, and they're not coming back. Let it go. Live your answer instead of arguing it. The third thing I want you to throw away is your collection of old versions of yourself. Oh, this is a sneaky one. This is the one that hides in the back of the closet, and you don't even realize it's taking up space until you accidentally bump into it at 2 a.m. and it knocks the wind out of you. I'll give you an example. In 1978, I made a mistake at work, a bad one. We had just gotten a new cataloging system at the library. This was the transition from the old card catalogs to the early computer systems. And it was a mess. The whole thing was a mess. And I misfiled an entire section of county records. 3 months of genealogical research by a local historian named Arthur Pemberton, gone. Not destroyed, but scattered. It took him and 2 volunteers 4 months to piece it back together. Arthur Pemberton looked at me on a Tuesday afternoon in October, standing there in his brown corduroy jacket with his reading glasses on his head, and he said, "Margaret, I trusted you with this." And he walked out. I carried that for decades. Long after Arthur had forgiven me, he came back to the library the following spring. We talked. He was gracious about it. I hadn't forgiven myself. I was still the woman who had let Arthur Pemberton down. I was still the librarian who couldn't handle a new system. Every time I made even a small mistake after that, a late bill, a wrong turn, a burnt dinner, I would feel Arthur's words land on me like a stone. I trusted you with this. You're doing this too. Maybe not with a cataloging error, but there's a version of you from some Tuesday or Thursday or unremarkable Wednesday that said the wrong thing, made the wrong call, hurt someone you didn't mean to hurt, and you're still wearing that version of yourself like a coat you can't take off. Here's the thing about old versions of yourself. They are historical records, not prophecies. The you who made that mistake in 2003 or 2015 or last month is not the you sitting here right now. You've learned things since then. You've grown. You've probably already become the kind of person who wouldn't make that same mistake again. But you're still punishing today's version of yourself for yesterday's version's choices. I want you to do something that might sound silly, but I promise you it works. I want you to think of that old version of yourself, the one you're still carrying, and I want you to picture them standing in front of you. Really see them. See what they were wearing, how tired they looked, how scared they were. And then I want you to say to them, out loud if you can, "You did the best you could with what you had. I'm taking it from here." And then put them down, gently. They've been riding on your back long enough. Number 4, and this is the one that I think might be the most important, so I saved it. Throw away your plans for the person you were supposed to become. We all have one, this ghost version of ourselves that we carry around, the person we thought we'd be by now, the person our parents imagined, the person we described in college applications or whispered about in the dark when we were young and everything seemed possible. Mine was a writer. Did you know that? I wanted to be a writer. Not a librarian, a writer. I used to sit at that kitchen table with my mother's bread flour on my fingers, and I wasn't just reading those library books, I was studying them. I was taking them apart in my head. I thought someday my book would be on a shelf, and some girl in some small town would pick it up and feel less alone. That didn't happen. Life happened instead. Harold happened. Karen happened. Thomas happened. The library happened. And for a long time, longer than I'd like to admit, I carried that ghostwriter around with me everywhere. Every time I shelved a novel, I'd think, that could have been mine. Every time someone asked what I did, and I said, librarian, I'd feel this tiny flinch, this little wince, like I was admitting to a lesser life. I was so busy mourning the person I didn't become that I almost missed the person I was. Listen to me carefully. The life you are living right now, the actual one, not the imaginary one, is not a consolation prize. It is not the backup plan. It is not what happened because the real thing fell through. This is it. This is the real thing. And if you spend it looking over your shoulder at some ghost version of yourself who got the promotion, or wrote the book, or married the other person, or moved to the other city, you will miss it entirely. I shelved books for 32 years. And you know what? I put the right book in the right hands at the right moment more times than I can count. Arthur Pemberton, for all our troubles, told me once that I'd helped him find a lead on his great-grandmother's immigration records that his family had been searching for 3 generations. A teenager named David Chen came into the library in 1991, barely speaking English, and I sat with him twice a week for a year, helping him with his reading. He sent me a letter in 2014. He's a professor of literature at the University of Michigan. He wrote, "Mrs. Olson, you were the first person in America who made me feel like I belonged here." I didn't write a novel. I lived one. And I almost missed it because I was too busy grieving for a ghost. So here's what I want you to do right now. Think about the life you're actually living, not the one you planned, not the one your parents wanted, not the one that looks good on paper, the messy, ordinary, imperfect one you wake up to every morning. And I want you to ask yourself, if I stopped comparing this to the plan, what would I see? I think you might be surprised. And the last thing I want you to throw away. And this one I can say with some authority because I'm 91 years old and I've had a lot of time to test it. Throw away the idea that peace is something you find. Peace is not at the end of a journey. It's not on the other side of a goal. It's not what happens when you finally lose the weight, or pay off the house, or find the right partner, or retire, or move to the country, or get your kids through college. I know because I've been on the other side of all of those things. And peace wasn't just sitting there waiting for me with a cup of tea. Peace is something you practice every single day. It's a choice you make at 7 in the morning when you decide whether to start your day with dread or with curiosity. It's a choice you make at noon when someone says something unkind and you decide whether to carry it with you or set it down. It's a choice you make at midnight when your brain is racing, and you can either follow every anxious thought down the rabbit hole, or you can put your hand on your chest, feel your heartbeat, and say, "I'm here. I'm breathing. That's enough for now." I practice peace every day. It doesn't always work. Some mornings I wake up and the first thing I feel is Harold's absence, and it sits on my chest like a stone, and no amount of bird watching or coffee or cat petting makes it lighter. And that's okay. Peace doesn't mean the absence of pain. It means you stop fighting the pain and let it move through you like weather. Thursday morning, 2 hours in this chair. Nothing productive. Just me and the light and the birds and Mildred purring and the absolute, radical, hard-won understanding that I am enough exactly as I am in this moment. That didn't come free. I had to throw a lot away to get here. The need to be productive, the need to be understood, the old versions of myself I was lugging around, the ghost of the woman I thought I'd become, and the idea that peace was somewhere out there waiting for me to arrive. It's not out there. It's right here. It's been here the whole time. You just have to put some things down to feel it. So, what's in your bag? What are you carrying right now that you don't need anymore? What's taking up space in your chest, your head, your shoulders? I'd really love it if you told me in the comments. Not because I'm nosy, well, maybe a little, but because I think when you name a thing, it gets a little smaller. And when someone else reads it and says, "Oh, me too," it gets smaller still. Thank you for sitting with me today. I mean that. You could have been anywhere, doing anything, and you chose to sit here with an old woman and her cat and a cup of coffee that's gone cold. That means something to me. Be gentle with yourselves, and if you can't be gentle with yourselves, be gentle with someone else and see if it doesn't come back around. I'll see you next time.